Hello, today I will be reviewing the 4S Endurance Flight Upgrade Kit for the DJI F450 frames. The kit consists of USM's landing gear with support for a variety of camera gimbal mounts, the USM extended aluminum arms, 4 Sunny Sky 580 kV Brussels motors, and 2 pairs of 1355 APC propellers. You can buy this kit from multirotorparts.co.uk and it is listed under the category USM Endurance and Heavy Lifting Kits. The kit arrived via DHL and it was packed nicely in 2 separate boxes. The landing gear comes in a flat pack form and all parts are separated in plastic bags. It contains 2 short carbon fiber landing skid tubes, 2 longer rails that will hold the gimbal and the main battery, 4 landing skid sponges, 2 aluminum L brackets, a G10 fiberglass pieces making up the main frame, and for which you have a choice of black or white finish. 2 aluminum L brackets for the gimbal mount, 4 aluminum alloy columns to secure the fiberglass frame, a battery tray, and the rest of the fiberglass body, and then 2 bags of hardware, the spacers, another gimbal mount, and that's about it. Here we have all the parts laid out on the cutting mat, the aluminum columns, the battery positioning kit, the camera gimbal positioning kit, which is a perfect match for the Zen News H3 2D and 3D and other gimbals, the hardware, the aluminum L brackets, the skid sponges and carbon fiber landing skids and rails, and the landing gear G10 frame. Today I will be assembling the black frame. So for now I will put the white frame on the side, and later on I will take that offline and assemble it. So that's what I'm going to be using on my quadcopter. You take the top plate, the spacer, and the 2 legs and place them on top of the plate, and then the L bracket, which can be placed in 2 orientations. So in this way, it's used for the F550 hexacopter, and this orientation is for the F450. You have a variety of hardware. You have the M3 10 screws, which are used for the top of the top plate. Then you have the M3 8 screws, which are used for 2 bottom holes on the top plate. Then you have the M2.5 6 screws for the aluminum brackets. The M5 screws, which are only for the F550, I think, and the M2.5 11 screws, which are used for mounting the landing gear to the F450 bottom plate. So starting with the M3 8 screws, I recommend you use the screws in the way that I'm using them. Tighten it up with the M3 lock nut. Don't make it too tight, so you can adjust as you're going on, and then fully tighten and secure once everything is fitted. Next step is to attach the horizontal aluminum columns on the legs. This will be the link between the two pair of legs, and it will hold a side battery tray, which is optional. You use the M2.5 6 screws. You can tighten them by hand and then use the small Allen key provided to tighten it up. Next step is to insert the load rails and the landing skid rails into the rubber rings. I use a little bit of hand soap to allow the rail to slide nicely. Insert the tubes into the rubber rings and position it as centrally as you like. I have already inserted the end caps on the tubes, but you can insert them and add a little bit of super glue to secure them. Add the landing skid sponges and you're done. And finally, insert the long rail tubes. These rails are standard 10 mm diameter. So if you need longer rails for getting your gimbal further away from the props, you can place an order for them. To insert the battery tray, I have two pieces of Velcro. I made two holes and insert the screws that hold the aluminum ring through the Velcro to secure it nicely. Having one Velcro on each side ensures that the battery is held nicely together. I've also glued two Velcros on the battery tray above and under the tray to mount other things. And here you can see the gimbal mounting brackets. This bracket is perfect for the Zen Muse H3 2D, along with other gimbals you can find on the market. If you have Zen Muse H3 3D, then you don't need that tray, and you can see that the L brackets have some insets for the motor to be able to rotate freely. This is an improvement that was made from a previous version of this gimbal kit. And the frame altogether seems very light and sturdy. So the total weight of the frame is 280 grams with the gimbal plate, or 276 grams without it. Here you can see the white version of the frame. And now I will be positioning the gears on the bottom plate of the F450. To insert the screws, you will need to remove the battery tray kit, the battery tray and the tubes, otherwise they get in the way. It's quite easy, but be careful as you slide the tubes out to not push too hard and break the fiberglass. Use the M2.5 11mm screws. A great feature of this frame is that the battery tray can slide in and out to adjust the center of gravity, and the battery tray can take a battery which weighs up to 800 grams. This battery I'm using here is an 8004S battery, a multi-star, and it weighs 650 grams altogether. You can place it either at the back, as I've done here, or between the legs.